Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Compact Everyday Carry and Gadgets. And today we have another list of the top 5 mistakes every new gun owner makes. Some new things popped into my head, and I also got some comments that reminded me of certain ones that I left out. So I will be making these lists every time I refresh a new 5 onto this list. I'll do another video. So let's go into the top 5 mistakes every new gun owner makes. Some of these on this list I am a victim of. I have done it. I am guilty of doing some of these, and some of them I haven't. Some of them has been some of you guys that have left these in the comments. So let's go through. Like I said, now no particular order, but it is a little list of 1 through 5. Number 1 is leaving the gun out in the open while at home. I know a lot of times we feel comfortable. We're in our house, so we feel like we could leave it out. But if you live with little ones or even just other people in the house, the gun should not be accessible to everybody in the house except for you yourself, or unless you have a partner and that partner is also trained and knows what to do in the case of an emergency and knows how to handle a firearm. Then you should definitely not leave the firearm out in the open unattended just because you are inside your house. Probably the place where you should be super careful, more careful with it, is while you are in the house. Like I said, especially if you don't live alone. But even if you live alone, sometimes you might leave it somewhere, forget that you left it there, and then you have visit over, and they run into it, or you just leave it somewhere and you completely forget where you left it, and then you're stuck not having it for that day. For example, right now, what I do when I carry and I get home and I don't want to have to go put it away in a safe because I'm going to maybe step back out the house in a bit, I try to put it in a stop box. What is a stop box? A stop box is it's not really a safe as far as the conventional safes, where it's like heavy duty metal and you gotta have a key or a fingerprint or a code to lock to get into the. This is more just of a way to keep it safe for you to be able to access it whenever you need it. And it, like I said, it doesn't have any digital biometrics to get into it. It's more like a finger code kinda, and then you could fit your everyday carry in there and close it up. And little prying hands, especially kids, or like I said, even a partner that maybe doesn't have experience dealing with a firearm, or if you just feel safer sleeping with the firearm on your nightstand next to you while you sleep, if you just feel a little safer if it's in some type of safe where, God forbid, someone comes into your house and you're caught off guard, you're sleeping, you might not even feel them while they're maybe even in your room. They can't access your firearm as soon or as fast as they can because you have it in that. And it just works. It works for me. So that's something to look into, consider if you guys have little ones in the house. I know I do it because I have little ones in the house. Number 2, having a bunch of different caliber handguns. This, I try to stay consistent with my calibers just because you go to the gun range, you could bring all your firearms in one shot. You practice with all of them in the case of an emergency, and you got to run and be quick, maybe swap out handguns or just stack up on ammo. Is easier if it's just one caliber. Right now, I do have 22 LR, but that's only one firearm that I have that, and I got that because of when we went through the whole pandemic and everything was super expensive, and I just didn't want to stop going out to the range. So I figured getting a 22 LR round firearm was going to keep me consistent going to the fire range to continue to practice and hone in on my craft. So that's why I went with that. And then, of course, I got some that are 380 just because I needed to get my hands on it. For example, the Bodyguard 2.0, I love that firearm, and they don't do it in 9mm, so I had to get it. It was 380. But I love that firearm. But for the most part, other than that, even my ARP is a 9mm caliber. So I could just, like I said, could just be consistent. In the case of an emergency where you got to just pick up and go, just throw everything in the bag, and you know that all your firearms work with the same caliber. You don't got to guess. You don't got to maybe fumble through your bag to find something. You got to be super quick because everything works with everything. So try to stick as much as you can. I know it's hard because you want a bigger firearm, an AR. Usually an AR, you're going to go for a bigger round. So yes, of course, not everybody's going to be able to beat all the same caliber throughout all of their firearms, but try to be consistent. Try not to jump up and down so much around calibers. At least for me, that's one of the things that I try to do when I got into the whole game of of getting into the firearm game. I tried my best to stick to a certain round, and for me, that's 9mm. It's what's more accessible, it's what you're gonna find everywhere, and it's usually the most affordable as well. Number 3 is wasting money on everything else except buying more ammo for practice. This I definitely have fallen a victim of before I had the channels. Once I got the channel, then I start getting things from companies, send things over, and then I review a lot of things, and I also show you guys a lot of things to consider. I'm not saying that it's better than another. I'm not saying that I trust my life in it. It's just options. I do videos to give you guys options of things that are out there and that have a place in my locker of firearm things, or might be something you're into or looking for, and I just do a video for you guys to get into it. But yes, sometimes we fall victims of quote unquote pimping out a firearm, wasting so much money on accessories and extra things, when in reality you should use all that money you're wasting on ammo so that it could keep you in the range, keep you getting better and better. For example, if I didn't have a YouTube channel that's based around firearms, I would probably have tops 3 firearms and just be perfect with those 3, know them up and down, be comfortable, and it's one I everyday carry, one that's at home for home defense, one that's maybe in my vehicle, and I would probably stay around 3 firearms. But since I have a channel, of course, like I said, I get a lot of things sent over to me, so you're gonna see a lot of these firearms, a lot of these red dots and lights, a lot of these things get sent over to me, so then I put them out so you guys can check them out. But like I said, if I wasn't doing this for a YouTube channel, I would probably follow this. It's hard to follow because you get addicted to wanting to hook up your firearm and make sure it has all the bells and whistles and it looks great and it feels good. It makes you want to even go more to the gun range when you feel good about the way your firearm looks, and everything you add to it, it's usually to make you shoot better. It's usually to make the firearm just kind of a well-rounded, a little bit of everything. For example, if you have a light, you could use this if you work at night. You can use it for home defense, places where you might have to use it in the dark. Hell yeah, run a light. It makes sense, even if you might have to spend a little money. Same things with optics. Once you get used to aiming with an optic, it's very hard to go back to just iron sights, or sometimes you're just quicker with an optic. So yes, there's certain things that make sense to buy. But then you got like mag wells, you got extra base plates. You want to change out the mag release, you want to change out the slide release. Like all these little things are just extra things that just make it look good. Sometimes they have a convenience where the slide release could be a little more protruding, so it's easier to get to, same as the mag release. So some things make sense. Same thing with the triggers. Like in reality, once you buy a firearm from the store, you should try to keep it the way it is and just rock with it. Don't waste money on just wanting the gun to look good. Of course, if it's something that's going to make it better and you just have time for it, go ahead, do it. If you only have 2 or 3 firearms, then go ahead, have fun with it. But yeah, I would tell you, waste money on ammo first before going into the whole wanting to hook up or quote unquote pimp out your firearm and make it Gucci Glocks or whatever the terms are. But yeah, I would say invest your money in ammo. Stack up in ammo, and when you have no more space left in your little ammo locker, then all right, let me go out and change out the trigger to a better trigger or whatever the case is. But yeah, that was number 3. Number 4, messing with the internals of your everyday carry. I am a big advocate to this. I know you guys see, let's say the Glock 43. I had fun with it. I call it like my Frankenstein gun. I played with it, but in reality, the internals is not really messed with that much. But I did, like for everyday carry, I wouldn't everyday carry this anymore. Even though it's been 100% reliable and I know I could trust it, because out of all the firearms I've owned, I think this one has the most rounds through it, and it still has never failed me. Has never had any hiccups, any malfunctions. So I really like the Glock 43 XMOS. But once I started messing with the trigger and switching out the slide, I probably won't everyday carry it. And I think when you choose the firearm for you for everyday carry, you want it to be as close as possible to everything being OEM in it. For example, here we got the CSX E series. Yes, it has an optic. I got the extended magazine, but that's from Smith & Wesson. That comes with the firearm. As far as internals, this has nothing. I haven't messed with any internals. So right here, I got 17 plus 1 in the head, and it's 100% stock. The trigger, slide, springs, everything is just how it comes out of the box. Same with the Canik Mete MC9 Prime. If you guys want a firearm to look amazing, firearm that looks like you went out and spent a bunch of money to get it to look the way it looks, then the Kinetic Mete is definitely one to take a look at. Consider it because it looks great. Right out the box, you don't got to spend money. Right here, the only things I've added is the red dot and the light. Other than that, this firearm is exactly how it comes out of the box. It even comes with a holster in the box. So this is definitely a good option even for a first firearm. But yeah, that was number 4. Don't mess with the internals of your everyday carry. Now, if it's the gun you take out to the range and you just want to have fun with it and you want to try things out, then by all means go ahead, have fun and make it look the way you want it to look. But for everyday carry, I would suggest don't mess with the internals. Number 5, and this is the most important, and in the beginning I was guilty of this, but lately, well, not lately, it's already been a few years, I've been very consistent, and I also would recommend this to everybody, is not being consistent with your everyday carry every single day. Because yes, we all have an everyday carry, that this is a firearm we take with us everywhere we go, but if today I'm gonna go play basketball, or if today I'm gonna go in a 3 mile walk or jog, I don't want to take my everyday carry with me because I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I don't want the inconvenience of having to carry. That is the biggest no-no, because we do not control the situations. We do not control when that time will come where you will need to defend yourself. We have no power over that. So not being consistent is probably the biggest mistake we could all make. So being consistent with your everyday carry every single day is key for everybody getting into the firearm game. It shows us that we're responsible, and it shows us that we care for ourselves and those around us and our loved ones, so that we stay very consistent and never leave our firearm at home. No matter if you're going across the street to open the mail, if you're an everyday carrier and you are consistent, you will take your pistol with you even to open the mail, and it's just a block or 2 away. Be consistent. But that's it for now, guys. Those are the top 5 mistakes that every new gun owner makes, and not even new gun owners, just everybody in general. Mistakes that we probably make, and we should try our best to correct ourselves. Let's just go through real quick before we leave the video. It's number 1 was leaving the gun out in the open while at home. Number 2, having a bunch of different caliber handguns. Number 3, wasting money on everything else except buying more ammo and practicing. Number 4, messing with the internals of your everyday carry. Number 5, not being consistent everyday carrying every single day. But that is the top 5 for this video, guys. If I missed any, or if I should have any other don't do's or anything that should have made this list, leave it in the comment and I'll make sure to add it in my next top 5 mistakes every new gun owner makes. But that's it for now, guys. Compact everyday carry and gadgets. I'm out of here, guys. God bless.